Wow, you guys are in for such a special treat today. We're going to give you a little behind the scenes look. And we have a special guest for you. Who is it? Stick around, let's find out next. Hey, today we have a special treat for you. We're looking at some of the people here on the Treasure Valley Dave team. And today we want to look at Treasure Valley Steven. Steven's great. He's been here for a while now. And I'd like to know, what the heck does he do? Well, hang around and let's find out. But before we do that, if you like this video, please go ahead and share, like, subscribe. That helps out so much. And if you're thinking that Idaho might be a place you want to check out, please give us a call, text, email. We're just thrilled to be able to answer your questions and help you find out if Idaho is the right place for you. So without further ado, here you go, Steven.
And what got me into real estate was basically all of the jobs I've had after high school and college have been with housing in some way, working on houses, scheduling HVAC installs, all those kinds of things. Every job I've had has been dealing with houses, and I've always loved real estate. I've bought and sold homes, not on my own when I wasn't an agent, but actually that's not true. I did a for sale by owner. It was the worst experience I've had, and I can go on about that, but we won't need to. But I did that on my own, and it was a bad decision. But you learn from those sorts of things. I learned from working on houses, with houses, selling my own houses, owning a duplex, being a a property manager for that. It was all a learning experience that just kept me going closer and closer to being a real estate agent. It's been a huge interest of mine, but until I met Dave, I didn't really feel like I should do it. Like I should take that plunge, go ahead and do it, because traditional real estate, even if you're on a team, you kind of, it goes feast, famine. You get a commission and then you have to wait for the next one and that sort of thing. And I really wanted to be working with people where I knew there was more consistency in work. I knew that there's people I could be helping all the time. And I know that I'm going to be making enough money to take care of my family. Instead of a new agent where you start out and it's like, you don't know when your first sale is going to come through. You don't know where you're going to find your clients. But working with Dave, it was like, oh, the light bulb came on, and I thought, this is perfect. What do I enjoy most about being a real estate agent is helping you. Helping you. There's a deep satisfaction in feeling like this big, important, worthwhile, detailed, all those things that buying a house is, that I get to help somebody navigate from, hey, I'm interested, this is my question, to taking the next step, going to the next thing, and just feeling like we're really helping people. I have always loved feeling like I'm helping people in other jobs. Of course, a paycheck is important, but satisfaction is something that I've never been able to look past. If I was in a job where I'm like, okay, I'm checking this box, I did that thing today. Okay, someone else had a question. The phone is ringing again. All that stuff just drove me nuts because I just felt like there wasn't a significant help that I was providing somebody. Sure, you need your questions answered. Sure, somebody needs to make a burger and then eat it for dinner that night. Like, sure, that's important to a certain level, but the satisfaction in knowing we've helped someone buy a house that they're going to live in and do their life in our local community and have their family with them, have people come visit, and they can say, oh, we had, Treasure Valley Steven or Treasure Valley Dave and Maureen. We had their help, and it's so satisfying to know that my work really matters in a very practical way. Why did I come to work with Treasure Valley Dave? If you've seen him on YouTube, you know Dave is just Dave. He's genuine, he's honest, he's knowledgeable, he's helpful, and he's willing to go the extra mile for people. And actually, I met him at one of his listings when I was measuring for window replacements. And we just struck up a conversation, and it felt like a time when it was like you had a really great first date, and you're like, oh, this could be something. Like that first encounter with somebody, you're like, okay, we're going to be friends. this is going to be awesome, or those kinds of moments is how I felt when I met Dave. And not to say the other agents I've met or people that I've known in real estate have been bad guys or anything like that, but it just felt like this genuine connection with somebody who was just very helpful. He had no pretense, having a good conversation. He said, let me get your phone number from you. Let's keep in contact. And it just kind of spiraled in a good way. And it just developed from there to where we started sending messages. And he asked me a question about a house in Meridian, or what do I like about that area. And it's like, oh, this guy's actually bringing me in and asking me for my input. I don't even work with him yet, but he's like, oh, I know you live in Meridian. What's it like over here? What's your experience over there? And it just kept on going, and it just felt like the kind of relationship you would hope for in a boss. And it's funny to even call Dave a boss, because he obviously is my boss, but we work together. It's the relationship you would hope to have with somebody that you work with. So it was an opportunity for me. It was an opportunity for him to get some extra help where he's needing it. And it was like, this is a no-brainer. Of course I'm going to do this, and it's been great ever since. If I could change one thing about the real estate industry, it would be that agents are not just working with people to make a commission, and then after the sale is done, they're finished with you. I feel like I've heard that from some other people where they didn't feel like there was a relationship built for the long term, which I love. I love meeting people, getting to know them, and then even after the deal is done, it's like, hey, how are you guys doing? What's going on in the community? Have you felt like you've found, your people yet? What's going on? And the relationship continues. But I think a lot of times after the sale, whether they're buying or selling, that's kind of it. You may get a card, but it's more like, hey, do you know anybody in your area who could maybe get me another commission? It's that sort of relationship, rather than us where, like last summer, we had a big picnic for everybody, and we want to be able to stay in connection and then have you guys who we've worked with become friends and get to know each other. It's like, hey, you both live in this part of town. Did you know so-and-so yet? No, come on, meet him. Because that relationship aspect is really important to us. So that would be one thing I would change about the real estate industry. So what's been a highlight for me since I've started in my real estate career? I mean, obviously working for Dave and being mentored with him and learning has been incredible. But I think for, let's say, the client relationship or what we do with people, seeing people move in and we take a picture of them and they're just so excited, seeing their kids run around in the backyard, seeing their pets, and just life starting to happen after all this work and all the things we do. Now life happens and you see the home become theirs, not just because they bought it, because they've moved in. Their life has started in there, and they're so grateful to be either upgrading their house locally or coming in from another area, and seeing them almost come alive in a new way. See them experiencing what it's like to be here. Watching, like I said, watching their kids have fun in the house that we helped them get. That's been incredibly meaningful and such a highlight for me. So what's my role with the Treasure Valley Dave team? So obviously, emails, phone calls, all that kind of regular stuff. But I like to emphasize more of my focus on the existing homes rather than new homes, of course. I love new homes, but I like to search out existing homes for people, find the place that's got the 4 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms with a 3-car garage, or something that's existing that I can go and walk through, take a video, and then get it sent off to somebody so they're like, oh, this is perfect, or maybe not. So I really love existing homes, multifamily, so duplexes, fourplexes, and above. That's something that we don't do a ton of, but I've owned 2 different duplexes in my life so far, hoping to expand more that way in my own personal investments and things like that. So existing homes, multifamily, and then I really love when we do have a client who's doing a full build job where they buy the lot in the neighborhood, they get the house started. Every week I go out and do a full walkthrough of the house that says, oh, hey, look, you've got, let's say sheetrock, and now it's texture. Last week it looked like this, and now this week it's looking like that. Check this out. And now this is what we're looking forward to in the next couple of weeks. Because I've worked with housing quite a bit, I know a little bit of how the order of operations go, what to expect, and I also know what they've ordered. So if it's like, hey, your island is 2 feet wide and it should be 8 feet wide, well, that's an easy one. But I also know the specifics of the home, and so if something's not right, I can say, oh, hey, contractor, looks like X, Y, and Z needs to be, taken care of. And it's really nice to give that service to people, because if somebody doesn't live locally, they don't know what's going on. I mean, how could they? If they live in California, if you guys are living in California and you build a house here, you still get to see it every week. And I'll do a video of the neighborhood. I'll do a video of the drive from the house to your nearest grocery store, church, restaurants. So I get to really help do that, which has been very fun. And I feel like it's another way Dave has set up our team to help people more specifically to do those kind of things, where it's like, I'm not going to walk on a construction site. Well, I'm like, I'll do it for you. I'll go out there, and actually got kicked off a construction site the other day because they were busy texturing, and some guy's like, you can't be here. And I was like, no problem. I'll see you next week. Actually, I got in the next day.
We've still got some stuff going on in here, so I'm not going to get in the way. Okay, sounds good. So it looks like they're getting ready to start spraying. All right, well, for the first time, we've been kicked out.
But it's great to be able to do that for them. So yeah, existing homes, multifamily, doing those weekly construction update videos. And you know what I really like, and this is just a small thing, but when someone first comes in, asks for a little bit of information, they're like, oh, how about a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house in Nampa? Well, I get to do a quick search, pick a few houses from that list, and then make a video where you can see my face. I'll scroll through all the pictures and the listing details, and then get that sent off to somebody. That's one of my favorite things. So is there any kind of market update I'd like to share? And this is something kind of small, well, maybe it's not so small to you if you're going to be looking, is will the housing market start cooling off? Are prices going to come back down? Is the market going to crash? Are we going to, basically cut prices in half and then I'll buy? It's not looking like it. Now, I don't have a crystal ball, but most indicators would say that the market's not going to slow down, generally speaking, across the nation. But also in this area, in the Treasure Valley, there's so much demand. People are really wanting to move here, and that's going to keep things going up in price. And we also don't have a lot of houses on the market right now, so it's kind of that balance of like supply and demand. Well, we have low supply and high demand, so that's going to keep prices going up. So if you're able, don't wait. Of course, we'll be here to help you at any point, but don't wait if you're thinking about it. Get some information, get in touch with us. It's all free. When you're buying a house, whether it's the lender or us as a team, all of our information and resources are free. So don't wait because you're not bothering us. We hear that a lot too. Oh, I don't want to bother so-and-so, or I don't want to bother you. It's no bother. We're here to help. So don't wait. Get in touch with us. Doesn't matter what your plan ends up being long-term. Definitely get in touch with us.
Wow, thank you so much, Stephen. I learned so much. Now I have a little bit of an idea of what you do. And you know what? It's really pretty important. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. As I know, our clients appreciate it too, because they need top quality service, and that's exactly what you give them. So people out there, if you're thinking about moving to Idaho, if you want to know more about it, if you want to know how we can help, please give us a call, text, email. We'd be glad to talk with you and see what we can do to help you out. And if you like this video, please go ahead and like, subscribe. That helps immensely. And then share it with somebody else that you think might need to see this. Well, that's it for today. Thank you so much for coming along. And until next time, it's Treasure Valley Dave. Looking forward to helping you get home.